Waiting for my... Oh my god, I'm getting a message that says live streaming isn't available right now.
What the fuck?
I am not even fucking kidding. I just took a screenshot of it. I'm gonna try again. Well, now it says we're live. Okay. Alright, hello everybody. Let me get off of... Hold on, let me get this off. Guys, I apologize. I clicked go live, and it literally, it told me live streaming wasn't available. And now it says it is. So, alright, well, on screen we have tonight's guest. I'm Team Skeptic. We'll get to me in a second. Let's talk about the man on screen first. Hello, Mr. AB Science. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you on this fine and glorious evening?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Actually, not so wonderful because I almost thought I was going to have to cancel tonight because there were roofers on my house finishing up the putting the shingles up that they should have done yesterday that they didn't do. And literally, me and Fight the Flat Earth were talking. You could hear the nail gun, bump, 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 bump. And I was like, oh my gosh, don't do this to me. But they stopped about 10 minutes ago, so we should be fine. Fight the Flat Earth, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good, doing good. Been working on my latest Anthony Riley episode of Flurfs Are Idiots because every time I start writing a script about Riley, by the time I finish writing that script, there's another 5 or 6 videos out with even more stupid. So I keep having to think, oh, I'm going to add that in as well. And, like, there's no way he's going to lose Dumbfuck of the Year because the amount of stupid he puts out is monumental.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier. I was thinking about it. AB Science, do you play video games at all?
Well, normally I would play video games, but unfortunately this whole YouTube thing and the science thing is...
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, so Craig's going try hard right now, okay, for Dumb Fuck of the Year. I mean, he's trying really, really hard to get this win. But no, we're gonna fight him off for it. Who are you voting for Dumb Fuck of the Year? Are you going JM Truth? Or are you going Kyle? Or are you going Try Hard Riley?
I think I think it has to be Riley.
I'm so disappointed
to be honest,
in you.
Well, the thing is, I think with JM Truth, fuck it. Yeah, the guy's an idiot, but he's a misguided idiot. Yeah.
He's not Riley level of idiot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Riley, he will seek out to challenge people who very clearly know so much more about the subject than he does, and then he will... everybody. And he will ask the questions and refuse to listen to the answer and just regurgitate the same old shit. And at least Jam Truth
gas
isn't...
pressure.
No, fuck Riley.
Yeah, well, I think you're just indoctrinated.
If it's okay.
I think you've just been indoctrinated by Fight the Flat Earth. We'll do something about that, okay? I'll send you some religious pamphlets to help you break your indoctrination. Okay, so there's not a lot of people out there that may have heard of you. You're kind of new to the YouTube scene. Is this correct? When did you start your channel?
Well, I'm not that new, but the content just makes it quite hard to grow. I think I started back in January. In January, I think, and I just make videos. Mainly, I've been doing flat Earth stuff, and I've been focused not so much on kind of debunking it, but rather than taking all the different claims and then asking the questions like, what would actually happen if your statement were true, or just trying to find educational opportunities within the whole flat Earth arguments and exploring that rather than just doing the debunk, because there's so many great people out there who do that fantastically, like yourself and Craig, and and I figured I'm not funny enough to do that sort of thing.
I,
Well,
I
I haven't got
neither
believe
the
it.
do I.
first clue what I'm on about. Like, having a channel like yours around is so good for me because then I can go, I have no clue about this physics argument. Wait, AB Science or no? And I'll just look at your channel and I'm sorted.
Well, the
Well,
Janie does point out though, AB. I mean, do not forget that the JM Truth did say the sun was on fire and needed oxygen to burn. Therefore, it cannot possibly be in space.
I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty stupid.
he's a fucking idiot, but he is just spouting
Yeah.
idiotic stuff, right? He is not trying to confront experts in the field and then asking them questions and then going, "Nuh-uh," right? He's just an idiot
Not
rambling.
because reasons.
Yeah, basically.
So you say about JM having saying the sun is on fire, but you know Riley once said that the Earth is round during the day but flat at night.
What?
Huh?
Just let that sink in for 1 second.
The Earth is round during the day and
suck.
flat at night. That's you
Yeah.
know, see when okay, Craig, I hate to be the one that informs you that somebody's pulling wool over your eyes, okay? But this cannot possibly
He's
he
not
cannot
clever enough.
possibly believe that. If when he says stuff
But
like
he also
that,
said the harvest.
okay, but JM
You're-
Truth really believes what he's saying is physics correct. Okay, he thinks that all
Yes,
other
he
physics
does.
people are pseudoscientists that don't know what they're talking about. When Liley says something like that, it's almost like how can you not see him for trying to push himself into that position of being dumb fuck of the year? You can't let the man win. If he does if
No,
he
no, no.
wins,
He
he
has
wins.
to win. He has to win because whether or not he actually supports these positions, I think he talks himself into believing them. You know, I think he says the
Well,
same
yeah.
stupid arguments so many times that he's convinced himself that on some level he's right, especially the whole scientific method, independent variable nonsense, and causation being, you know, that has to be the main cause and everything. You know, he has convinced himself that he is the only one in the world that actually understands what an actual scientific experiment is. Nobody
Yeah.
else does. Only him.
Yeah, I think that's very true. You know, if you repeat the lie or well, no, I have good reason to believe that it's all lies, right? It's simple as that. But let's just say that it's bullshit, as in it's not a lie, but it's a statement that doesn't care about the truth. If you repeat it enough times, then it becomes your truth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that is exactly what is happening here because yeah, I can't find another way of explaining, right? You've got the 10 citations he pulls up with
Or
with the regards to the
10 of
experiments,
them
and
actually say the opposite of what he says. That's what gets me.
yeah, they don't
All
really
10 of them
support
say
his
the opposite.
position, and you know, it's also, you know, at best he is just cherry picking of what these articles state. I mean, he picks one IOP, some Institute of Physics article there. Now, I know the guy who fucking wrote that, and he is actually familiar with Anthony Riley's material, and he pissed himself watching that shit. It was funny, but what was it? What was I
think
going to
Riley's
say? Yeah,
issue is
so
that
the wider
he's-
articles don't support his position, and what he uses as an experiment, it is technically correct, but it is only the confines of a controlled lab-based experiment. And there are so many other methods of experimentation and investigation that are available within science.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
there isn't
AB.
one version of the scientific method, which is what I try to get across to him many times. You know, the scientific method isn't just here are these completely defined set of absolute rules you have to follow. It's more of a guideline to kind of help you do things the right way. And different types of science have different ways of applying the scientific method. And Riley's problem is that he looks at things on a very basic level. For instance, his egg, right? this is an egg, right? The way that he thinks about that is because yeah, do you like it, by the way? Yeah, they're fucking amazing. The way he thinks about that is, well, I've put the salt in the water and the egg's moved, therefore the salt was the cause of the egg moving. That's the same as saying, right, I'm going to turn on my light switch and me pressing the light switch is the cause of the light going on. Well, kind of, but there's a lot more behind that.
Yeah, so
And
I
he
mean,
just doesn't have the
because
ability to
he's
look at it
saying
like
is that
that.
yeah, because he's saying is that you cannot infer an additional cause or something like that.
Yeah.
And now, in fairness, this is an idea I had for a video, and I'm just going to put it out there without shooting it because I've been running it with this idea for 2 months now, and I haven't actually done it. So maybe someone else can do it and make it a really funny one. But I've been thinking just about, right, okay, so you can't infer an additional cause. So I can prove that cars are fake because I can step into a car and I can sit down and I can press down on the accelerator and nothing will happen. Now, I can have 10 engineers or 10 mechanics standing next to me saying, no, you need to actually turn on the engine,
Yeah.
but that's inferring an additional
exactly.
cause. So that's not
Yeah.
science. So they are wrong. I am right.
It-
Cars are fake.
Yeah.
Now, hold
It's
on,
like with the
AB.
light switch, you're not allowed to infer the electricity is the thing that's causing the light to turn on. You're not
Precisely.
allowed to make but when that's such a important component of what you're talking about, when he's talking about buoyancy and density, gravity is such a fundamental part of what's going on that you don't even need to infer that cause. It's just part of what is happening.
Now, AB, we have a couple of questions from the audience that are directed to you, and then I'm going
All
to
right.
turn it over to you so you can kind of tell people about what you do, what your education level is, so everybody kind of gets an idea of who you are. Before we get to that, I want to ask this first question from Irish Stew. Says he said to ask you what kind of tasty guitar is that behind you?
That is it's actually a cheap Paul copy I got. So I produced a live show for a UK charity, Sue Ryder, and they sell these guitars. And I produced a charity gig back when I was an undergraduate, and as a thank you, they gave me that one. However, the real tasty guitar is going to be this one, which is a PRS Custom 22. Standard
Nice.
22, sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
I've got a Hendrix edition Stratocaster somewhere around.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now let's go ahead and give everybody what you do for a living, what your education level is, stuff like that. Anything you want to share with people so they can get a chance to kind of know you.
Okay. Well, yeah, so I make some YouTube videos. I talk science and shit. My background really is I started off as a music producer. That didn't really make me much money. I ended up in sales. And during the recession, I decided to kind of up my skill level. So I studied radiation oncology and medical physics, particular focus on hadron therapy. After that, I ended up then going back after doing this master's degree and do my undergraduate degree in physics. I did straight up physics and specialized in condensed matter physics, and due to finish my PhD in condensed matter physics very soon. In my PhD, I look at building tiny magnets. I'm looking at basically how individual atomic spins interact with others next to them in curvilinear coordinate systems. So I kind of look at also building materials that allow us to directly observe quantum mechanical effects, but that manifests itself on a larger scale. And that will allow us to gain much more information and knowledge about the concepts such as geometric frustration. It's a whole weird thing, but it may actually help us understand more about things like coronal mass ejections, how the physics of water, funnily enough, and things like artificial intelligence and neural networks, which actually appear to show this frustrated stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that is going on. That's all the very pure research that we're doing. But then we're also looking at building next generation data storage and data processing devices and new techniques on how to build these and make these next generation technologies available.
Well, that's awesome. Are there any flat earthers you've ever met that are qualified to work with you at your lab? Even as a fucking
Maybe as test
janitor?
subjects.
Even as a janitor? No, that's awesome,
no.
man. AB, that's fucking amazing, man. And that's one of the reasons that we do the show that we're doing right now, is because we want to bring more awareness to the people that are actually involved in science in our community. Because I agree with you. There's a lot of times, you know, you can get easily flooded with a lot of flat Earth videos that are very, you know, you get people that are just, that really don't know the science, but they're really entertaining, like myself. You know, I'm just kidding. No, but you do see a lot of people out there that just make videos making fun of people, or doing reaction videos. And new creators, especially right now with the flat Earth being recognized as a hot topic, there's a lot of people that push that when they think, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and then they think, I'm going to just jump on this hot topic, but they're not really qualified to answer all the questions. So we want to bring more light to the creators that are more science involved, and you definitely are one of the more scientific creators out there. You and MC Toon, I really Conspiracy Cat. Conspiracy Cats kind of nails it on all ends, but Conspiracy Cats, you guys have a really, really good way of explaining the real science behind it. You know, y'all are who I try to model how I describe things after. I say, God, I got to make it at least that good, you know.
I think, talking about Conspiracy Cats, he needs a bit of a shout out right now. Because, guys, if you don't know, recently Conspiracy Cats did a video on a flat earther called Seek Truth, Speak Truth, who, thanks to the Conspiracy Cats debunk, is no longer a flat earther and is now going to actively debunk the flat earth. In fact, me and him are arranging to debunk the video that made him become a flat earther. And I've had a few people say it to me, but I've never had anyone make a video and say, you're the reason I'm not a flat earther anymore. So I think Cats deserves some kind of special award for saving somebody.
Yeah, Cats is probably my favorite of all the people to watch casually. Cats and Tau Ceti Alpha are my two favorites to watch. I can put them on and just leave them on and let it go. Okay, so we have two super chats. Well, we have a super sticker. Thank you, MA2 Fletcher Eisler, $3. It says fist bump. When I get on camera here in a moment, I will give you that fist bump, brother. And then we have Sam Bob Dylan. Is there a second and third place with participation ribbons? Much respect from Southeast Queensland, Australia, team and FTFE, bringing reason to crap. Oh yeah, bringing reason to crap. Sam, cool, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, AB, this is your time to shine, bro. Okay, you're a physicist. This should be easy. This should be super, super fucking easy. Okay. Do you watch my live shows at all?
You know what? I'm ashamed to say I don't actually watch a lot of YouTube. Full stop. Creating stuff.
Should we just kick him off now, or?
Yeah, you can
Just
put
hold
it
on
now
cool
if you
team.
want.
Let me give me 1 second, please. All right, now nobody can hear you talk, AB. No, I'm just kidding, man. Come on. We'll put you in a position. We're gonna put you in a position to only win here, okay? Only win.
Right.
So when we have a new member, and we actually do have a new member, Marco YNWA. So I'm gonna say that's Nyenwa. Marco Nyenwa. Nyenwa is a new member. Okay, so when we have a new member, we like to flood the emojis into the live stream chat and welcome the new member properly. And we do it by using one of three emojis. The first emoji And I'll go ahead and do the first emoji because the three of them are dingers, mankinis, and meat tubes. I'm going to give you a chance to win here without even having to really struggle. Because the dinger's first. Anytime we have a new member, we got to welcome by showing him our dinger. I mean, there is no other way to do it, right? So there. Everybody put your dingers in the chats, please. Then we have the option of meat tube or mankini. Now, there's a very, very specific order these go in. Fight the Flat Earth has been here for months. He should know this by now, right? I mean, you agree with me, right? AB?
Yeah, I should know it.
You there?
Yeah.
You should know it. Now, what is it, Fight the Flat Earth? And you better get this shit right.
So after the dinger, right?
After the dinger.
It's quite obviously the mankini.
You goddamn son of a bitch. No, it's not. It's the fucking meat tube. Because when you have your dinger out, you might as well pull the meat tube out anyway. People are going to claim that you're doing nasty shit. You might as well do it nasty twice, right? Next comes the meat tube, and then you throw the meat tube out. Now, AB, I put you in a position to win here. What comes in the final position?
Ooh, what have we got? So we've got a dinger, we've got a meat tube, and a mankini.
There you go, buddy. Look at that. Physics at its finest. That's what your education gets you in Southern Australia, right? Isn't that where you're from? Are you from Australia?
No, I'm from the Netherlands, but
God,
I live in Wales right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. NZ, right? Or, no. Wait. Netherlands.
Wales.
No, Wales. You know,
Wales.
the
Well,
kingdom.
He lives in
I
the
was
UK.
thinking of
With all the sheep.
Oh, that's why I was thinking it was
Actually,
New
yeah.
Zealand.
He lives
that
in the
you're
same
from.
village as Creaky,
Yeah, sheep,
because
New
Wales is
Zealand.
just one tiny village.
Sheep in New Zealand. I hear sheep and I'm like, oh yeah, he must be one
Yeah,
of
it
those
could
guys
be
from
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand. All
Yeah, or
right,
it
look
could
at
be
that.
Wales.
As someone from the UK, right, the sheep shagger joke has always been about the Welsh. So I was actually shocked when I learned that there was already a sheep shagger joke about the New Zealanders.
Well, that's the thing. It's because both countries have more sheep than people, right? So,
Probably, right?
And it just turns into a big orgy at that point.
well, yeah.
Detonation.
It's best if you do it on the edge of the cliff because then they push back.
Right? Oh God, why did we start? We're gonna get demonetized, guys. All right, Team Nutbag or Team Nadbag from Detonation, $2. Thanks for having a guest that's not retarded. Thank you very much, Detonation. I appreciate it. I do try to hold
Wait, you're saying that I'm retarded?
I mean, you can infer that, yeah. That'd be a proper inference. Okay, so then oh, look at that. We have a new member. Now, I'm not even going to pressure you into doing it right, AB. I'm just going to go ahead and give you the first one, right? The first one's the dinger.
Mm-hmm.
And let's
Then
go
it's
ahead
the
and read
meat
off
tube.
this thing. Michael Barrett,
Damn you!
this dinger's for you. See, no, this is what happens when you bring intelligent guests on fight. They don't mess up. What is it again there, AB?
It's a dinger, a meat tube, and a mankini. Come on, it just makes perfect sense, right?
It is logical.
I used to like you.
It is so sensical at this point. Like, Fight the Flat Earth just doesn't understand why you would show a dinger first, or why you wouldn't go show your dinger first, then get into mankini, then show the meat tube. That doesn't make sense. That's like getting undressed,
Well, if you don't
turning the
put
shower
mankini
water
on correctly.
Listen, that's like getting undressed, turning the shower water on, getting dressed back up, waiting for the shower to get hot, taking your clothes back off and getting in the shower. That's literally what you're doing, what you say when you say dinger, mankini, meat tube. All right, so I do want to talk about a couple of things before we move forward. Oh, well, FTFE for £2. Why do you keep using the old
Yes.
currency? NASA made me do it. Yeah.
They
Oh,
did.
there you go, right there. NASA made him do it, guys. I asked him why he used old currency. He answers with old currency. Great. Thank you very much, Fight. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking till about for about another 45 minutes, or I'm sorry, about another hour and 15 minutes, and then I have a debate tonight on the Modern Day Debate channel. For those of you that don't know, There's a channel out there that hosts debates. I don't watch them that often. I have seen them several times, but I don't watch them all that often. But definitely, if you want to come check it out, I'll be debating some flat earther named Patrick. Uh, I'm stepping out to debate, I guess, because I haven't debated anybody in a while, and some people have called me out about it. So I'm going to go on there and shut people up for a little bit on that channel. I'll
All right,
share
well,
the
I'm just
link
going
with
to
you
test
guys.
you then, team.
Okay, let's
All right,
go.
I'm just going to run you through quickly a few standard Flurf arguments. That ship went over the horizon because of perspective.
No, it didn't. Next
Prove it.
question.
What's the independent variable? Well,
Yeah.
how can you have gas pressure without a container next to a vacuum?
That's not the. That's not what. That doesn't properly describe the atmospheric system that we live in. The atmospheric system has a pressure
We're
gradient
in a
that
contained
approaches
dome,
zero.
obviously.
Well, then you would
Yeah,
have to
but
explain
you,
the.
you
Then you would
can't
have
have
to
a gradient if you
explain the
don't have
lack.
pressure first.
You would have to explain the lack of the non lack of gas pressure. You'd have to explain the lack of gas consistency inside of your trapped container, as per the ideal gas law.
I
Well,
am
yeah, but what was your
very
independent
sorry, but
variable in all that?
I'm gonna have to correct you on something here.
Okay, go ahead.
If there is a dome, which is as large as it says, as they say it is, we would still actually observe a pressure gradient,
But surely
provided
only
that
if
there's
gravity
gravity.
was a thing.
Well, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
gravity
I'm
were a thing,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm making
But
the assumption that
if
they
gravity's
don't
a thing,
believe
then
in gravity. Yeah,
yeah,
and I've
Yeah,
said that. Hey,
because
AB,
if
I
because
said that.
existence and gravity are not mutually. So the dome and gravity are not mutually exclusive ideas, right? Because if you have a dome and you observe a pressure gradient, yeah, gravity is a thing, regardless of whether the dome is there or not. And actually, the dome is not necessary.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's the point.
I
If you've
said
got gravity,
this.
then you don't need a dome, right?
Yeah, precisely.
I said this in a
Because
video.
gravity is the container.
In a video where Jeranism made that claim, and I was like, no, even if you had a pressurized system and it was, let's say, 5 miles high, you would have a greater pressure at the bottom than you would at the top. It's just the additional force of gravity is stronger, or the force of gravity is stronger, so you'll have a slightly greater force at the bottom than you will at the top, even though it's an enclosed system. Just in
Well,
micro systems, you don't really see that in a micro system because there's really no difference in the pressure, or in the pressure that gravity exerts on something, and
But
something
did you
that's.
take into account the fact that when I read the paper today, I saw the number 33 times?
I didn't.
Explain that,
it's
Grotard.
irrefutable.
Yeah.
But I saw
First
I
lap.
saw the number 21 times. I saw the number 23 times. Is that
It's incredible.
does that
Obviously,
mean that
they're
Q is a
hiding
thing?
something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the funny thing is, it's about this whole pressure gradient thing and everything. It's not even a gradient. Well, the gradient is important in a sense of what you actually want to look at, because we have with height, we have an exponentially decreasing pressure. And that has a very particular property, and that is that the gradient of that function, or the is also an exponential function. And that means that actually the pressure difference between sea level and 1 meter above sea level is greater than the pressure difference between, say, the Kármán line and 1 meter above the Kármán line. So why don't we see that massive pressure rush? Because, if we're talking about a vacuum, if we're defining that as just an area with lower pressure that compared to another, then actually the 1 meter above sea level compared to sea level that's a bigger vacuum than the difference between the Kármán line and 1 meter above the Kármán line.
Yeah.
And this, you can measure this. And it's very simple.
My my argument to them at the moment is that obviously they're always saying, well, you need this barrier between the vacuum of space and our atmosphere. But they also acknowledge that there is a pressure gradient. So I always say to them, so why
Yeah.
don't you need a barrier between where it's 14.7 and 14.6 psi? Why does that not require a barrier? But further up, 0.002 and 0.001 psi apparently does require a barrier. You know, it doesn't. Their argument doesn't make any logical sense.
Well, no, it's because they only think about pressure, absolute states, right? You have pressure, you have a lack of pressure or a vacuum. And they don't recognize that a proper, like theoretical proper vacuum doesn't actually exist.
No.
But they don't really see it that way. It's no, there's a vacuum and there's pressure and there's a distinct boundary, and that's it. You need a barrier for that. But also, you don't have to question what a barrier actually is, because if we think about a solid barrier, let's say a pint glass, what is it actually on a microscopic, on the atomic level, that prevents the particles inside of that pint glass from escaping? And there is a solid barrier because there's matter there. But if you think about it, matter is 99.999% empty space, right? So this barrier is completely empty space. So why can't these particles escape? And that's actually because of interatomic interactions, which means that the potential energy required, the energy required for a particle inside the glass to cross this barrier is ridiculously high. And what that actually means, you can draw that extension to actually gravity, because whether you believe in gravity or not, you have to recognize that the potential energy increases with height, right? It takes energy to lift stuff up. You have to put energy into the system. So the potential energy increases with height, and that is the barrier, right? Because all a barrier represents is just a region where the potential energy is really high. And we can do the calculations, right? We can know exactly, if we have a particle here at sea level, if it has a certain amount of kinetic energy, we know, provided that it doesn't collide with anything else, that it can reach a certain height, and we can calculate that exactly. And it's exactly that calculation that we use to kick shit up into space.
And it works perfect.
And
it works almost perfect.
That's what you're saying about the fact that you gain more kinetic energy as you go up. It's the fact that you need more energy to get up there in the first place, which is why rockets are 95% containers to have fuel to get that 5% that is the payload actually into space. Because it requires energy and a fucking lot of energy. We're trapped here on the planet. I think the way that I've been describing it is we have a debt to gravity that we need to pay back to get off of the planet, because all of the things that have created us being here is due to this force of gravity, bringing everything to Earth and everything. So we have to pay that debt back to gravity to be able to escape the gravitational influence in energy.
Okay, so let me go through a few super chats right here. We have John Rapp for 10 Aussie dollars. Everybody in the chat, be sure to give John Rapp that proper hello if you haven't done so already. And if you have done so, just do it again. No big deal. You have my blessings, and I'm sure he loves it as well. He says, so we have two guys with pseudophysics degrees, another guy with a Master's of Science Indoctrination. Then we have JM with a real Master's of Science, and Liley with a Master's of Thesis Fallacy Application. Thank you, John Rapp, for pointing out that. And then we have Leo Cross Chaos says, you have an amazing guest tonight. Please talk to him. Oh, yeah. We always try to bring these. Oh, and look at that. A new fucking member again. Wow. I don't even want to add. You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to let AB, you tell me the order they go in, and I'm gonna follow your lead, bud. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Oh
It
shit!
was meet you Mankini, but what happened before that?
Wow! Don't nobody help him. Nobody fucking help him. You got the last two right.
Oh, hold on, I will
There,
find this shit out. I will
no,
find this shit out.
I'm going to give you one hint. Okay, what is the meat of my channel? Everybody knows me because of this.
Oh yeah, it's a dinger. Meet
My
you.
dinger.
Hey!
Everybody
Yes,
loves
I
the
thought you were talking about
dinger.
looking like. I thought you were talking
Yes.
about looking like the Morgile.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah. Me too, Mankini, guys. Yes, thank you very much, Pete. I do appreciate the you becoming a member, sir. Let me and then he upgraded too, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, then we have Stephen Clark. He says because unlike the Kardashians, gas pressure and atmospheric pressure are not the same thing. Yes, exactly. That's the other thing that they get wrong, AB, is they do conflate the two, atmospheric pressure and gas pressure, to mean the same thing.
But team, the
Yeah,
atmosphere is
to be
gas.
honest, that's something I struggle. That's something I struggle with as well because I'm a physicist. I only deal with pressure. I don't give a shit about gauge pressure or something like that. It's fucking pressure.
Yes, exactly. It's the amount of interactions, the amount of kinetic force applied to a particular. Is this right? A particular unit of area that
Well,
can be measured.
it is. I don't like that definition personally. I like the definition of the kinetic energy density.
Okay, yeah.
And this is all,
Maybe that should be
so
a better way of me
it's the amount
explaining
of
what I was saying.
kinetic energy that is contained within a volume.
But density is a force.
Density.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, okay, but here's the thing about Anthony Riley's salt experiment. Let's look at it a different way. I'm going to do the same experiment, but instead of using regular salt, I'm going to use non-buoyant salt that contains little green gremlins on the inside that's going to swim in an upward direction, pushing everything up. And they're too small to see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've now if
mean,
you
Well, that's how it works.
if you infer that density was the cause of it, then you're inferring something else beyond my assertion that I'm testing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's
And this is why
yeah,
Anthony
it's-
Riley should win Dumb Fuck of the Year.
I'm not, and that comment was not endorsing Anthony Riley for Dumb Fuck of the Year.
It totally was. And you know.
Yeah.
Hold on,
it was. No,
let me get
it's-
through these last couple of super chats. We have 5 New Zealand dollars. Bella Charge, stupid damn employers making me late for stream. Stupid damn employers making. Hey, you know what? As globe earthers, we have a responsibility and an obligation to do what's responsible. So work before stream, Bella Charge, always. I'll definitely support that. Johnny Ragadoo for $5. Flurfers have intracranial vacuum next to pressure. Just their eardrums maintaining the differential. Exactly. And then we have Robert Gassman, also upgraded. So yes, sir, you get one more time to redeem yourself there, Mr. AB. Let's go. Flawless.
All right.
Don't even trip. Flawless. Let's go.
Okay.
How does it go?
It's a dinger. It's a meat tube, and then a fine and beautiful mankini.
What color mankini do you wear to your wedding, sir?
Personally, I like to go for black leather and then with little studs all the way down.
Oh man, Did you see
I
my?
went out to get a
just
drink.
some
I went
diamante
to
around
get
the
a drink. I
crotch.
came back and we're talking about. Yeah, I went out to get a drink and I come back and we're talking about black leather and diamante around the crotch. What did I miss?
You missed a
Mankinis,
lot.
baby.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Hey, Science, do you know what happened to Team? Do you know what happened to Team at Halloween?
Do I want to know?
Well, the mankini. He was wearing the mankini. You know, we were doing a Halloween stream,
Well,
and
I ain't gonna judge.
he'd had. He'd had some issues getting hold of a mankini, and he ordered one from Amazon and it didn't turn up, so he had to go to the store and get a different one. But he knew that his mankini that he'd ordered from Amazon was going to be turning up. So during the stream, as the door knocked, he's like, "Oh yeah, this would be my other mankini." So he goes to the door in his mankini, opens the door, forgetting that it's Halloween and kids come round to knock on the door and get candy. And there was kids at the door asking for candy.
Yeah.
So,
it was this little
got
kid.
arrested, yeah?
No, I didn't get arrested, no. But I didn't answer the door for 6 weeks after that. No, the funnier part of that though, AB, was that their parents, the child's parents, were right behind them, and I looked up at the father, and I looked at him, and I was like, "I am so sorry," and I was like, "I totally forgot that this was Halloween. I was expecting Amazon to come in." He just looked at me. He was like, "No big deal," and then I was like, "Okay, I'm in a live show on the internet right now, and I have to go," and I shut the door.
Answer the door in a mankini and then tell them you're in a live show on the internet. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
Well done, team.
yeah. That's a good move.
It was not a good
to be
move.
honest, it makes
It was
good money.
not a good
Yes,
move.
UTP Doug, I've put the picture up.
It was not a good move.
Yeah, do you want to know what happens when a twink tries to whistle wearing a mankini? It looks a bit like this.
Hey, can you whistle AB Science, or are you part of the no whistle club with me? Get the hell out of my damn live stream. Both of you stop. This is oppression. I'm about to go all SJW on you and start accusing y'all of the patriarchy of whistling.
I'll tell you what. I cannot wink. There you
You
go.
can't wink.
Ooh,
What's
that's an
wrong
interesting
with
one.
you?
All right,
I
put,
can
Tim, put
wink,
full,
but not
full screen,
voluntarily.
and I want to see him try and wink.
Hold on, yeah,
Put full
me
screen.
too.
Who's
We
got a wink?
have to see
Fucking
this
bad.
attempt at a wink. Hold on. This is what happens when you do physics all your life. You can't wink. Go ahead.
No,
Just
your eyes
leave the
closed.
left one open. Don't turn your head. You're turning your head to
Now
hide
you're just
your.
raising your eyebrows.
What's wrong with you, man? What is wrong with
I can
you?
do this, right?
Oh my God.
This will fucking freak you out. but
Ugh.
I can't wink.
No. You're a lost cause.
And I can do really, like, my nose is really, like, squidgy, but
Oh my God.
yeah, I can't wink.
Wow.
Doing that with your face reminds me of the loading screen for Mario 64. You know, when you can move his face around.
Irish Stew would like to know if there's a way that we can enter a new equation into physics. It's called the R equals FW. Riley
What's that
equals
for?
fail well.
Oh, isn't that a law though? Isn't that like one of those physical constants?
It's a law. Yeah, it's a law in physics. We're
Well,
going to add it to the book.
I did try and coin a physical constant called the Riley coefficient, but it didn't quite work.
What is the Riley coefficient?
Well, it is the coefficient required to actually convert density into a force, because I took his little egg experiment and I actually tried to derive all of Newtonian mechanics based on that conclusion, taking the assumption that, okay, density is a force. What is the only reasonable formulation that I can think of that would work? So I did that, and I had to introduce the Riley coefficient. But unfortunately, it means that the speed at which things fall is inverse proportional to the mass. So heavy things fall slowly, light things fall very rapidly. Also, if you ignore some of the finer details, because at some point I'm pretty sure it came out that acceleration is actually an imaginary plane. But yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I tried to break it down just randomly one time. I was like, wow, that means like the force would go as the volume of it got increased, the force would go down, I believe. Yeah, as the volume increased, the force would go down. As the mass increased, the force would I couldn't even remember. Me and Fight were talking about.
Yeah.
He said it
Didn't
comes
they
out to
actually?
measuring it
Yeah,
out in
didn't.
hertz and shit like this, and you're like,
Yeah, weren't
there's
yeah, but the units for it would actually be measured. The force would be measured in hertz based on what you'd have to calculate, and it just yeah, physics would.
kilograms
Yeah,
per meters cubed. That's
yeah.
which
There's
acceleration
something
comes out
ridiculous,
to.
but if you introduce this Riley coefficient, you can make all the maths add up, and then you can play with it, right? So, and you can actually develop an internally consistent model. However, it is internally consistent is just not consistent with reality, because yeah, it does predict that you have, that larger masses would fall slower. And then I just took two identical bottles. I filled one with water and left the other one empty, and then dropped them, and they hit the floor at the same time within the given margin of error. Even though it
Damn
predicted
reality.
that yeah, the filled bottle would hit the empty bottle would travel 20 times faster or something like that.
Did your Riley coefficient take into account things in free fall?
No, it just took into account reasons.
Oh.
Reasons. Perfect.
Yeah, just reasons. Yeah, it
Okay.
was just reasons.
So we have 2 super chats, and then we have a good question from the audience I'm going to pass on to you. So fucking what? JM Truth for Dumb Fuck of the Year because so fucking what says so. And I agree with so fucking what.
Get out.
Thank you very... Yeah, no,
Get
you
out.
can stay.
You're
We'll
banned.
replace
I'm
Fight
gonna
the
just
Flatter.
time that person out. Where is it?
And digital demonic Davros for $5 says axiom found in...
Oh shit! I did not mean to delete it.
What did
Sorry.
you delete? Oh. Axiom found
I
in...
timed him out and it deleted his super chat.
Oh. Sorry, so fucking weird. I'll make sure that it gets on the screens. I'll put it in the description or something. Digital demonic Davros for $5 Axiom found in semi metal giving glimpse into dark matter. Do you know what he's talking about there?
Sorry, what was that? Can you repeat that?
Axiom found in it says whale, Weyl. I might be saying it wrong. Semi metal giving glimpse into dark matter.
Ooh, I don't know anything about the dark matter stuff. It's not my thing.
After I get to this next question, I want to come back to a question about, or I'm going to bring up 2 recent discoveries that flat earthers are now going to be citing that have nothing to do with the flat earth, and I want to get your opinion on them. Okay, so the first one is the question that comes from, let me get back to it. Leo Cross Chaos says, what are you currently working on, and talk about it as much as you can without doxing yourself or violating any NDAs.
Violating NDAs. What can I say? So, I am one of the things I'm working on is developing a new method of producing magnetic nanowires, which we can study, and it will be an essential step in building. Let me just have a look. So, if you think about magnetic materials, now in ferromagnets, you have small regions where all the magnetic spins, they all have to align. And what happens in those systems is that in certain geometries, like say a hard drive, you have a disk where you can have the magnetic spins either point up or point down, and that represents a 1 or a 0. But if we then make hold on, give me a moment. If we then have, say, a thin wire, and the geometry of that wire actually forces the spins to either point in that direction or in that direction. And that can represent a 1 or a 0. And one of the challenges is then to make one where you can do that, and then you fold it up. Not quite like that, but you fold it up. So then suddenly you can store data in this wire, but because you can fold it up, you can actually store it in a 3-dimensional volume rather than a 2-dimensional surface that hard drives give you. And there's lots of weird physics that kind of comes into play when you try and build these things. And I actually look at trying to describe that and figure out how we can take advantage of these ideas in physics so we can actually build these devices. But then there's the fabrication side of things. We need to actually build these things. So there's a massive engineering challenge. And one of the things I do is try and develop techniques to essentially take a 3D printer, but rather than printing the kind of things that you would see a 3D printer being used for now, which is, at a normal scale, things that you and I can see, we are actually printing things which are about 150 nanometers in width. To give you an idea, the width of a human hair is about 1,000 times wide. No, not 1,000 times. Hold on. What are the actual numbers? About 10 to 100,000 times bigger than that. And we're trying to use these devices to store data and potentially also process data. And that's an important part in things like, obviously data storage, because we expect that we can store much more data whilst simultaneously reducing the cost associated with storing data, and actually reducing the energy required to run data centers, which is going to be a big problem. It already is, and it's going to be a bigger problem in the future. So then we work, that's one of the things we work on. Another thing that we work on is it's a concept known as geometric frustration. So you're all familiar with how you take one bar magnet, and I need to figure out where my thing is. Yeah, one bar magnet which points in that direction, and then you introduce another bar magnet. So if my fingertip is the North and South Pole, then, if my fingertip is the North Pole, they would expect this situation to repel, and one magnet would like to turn around. Now, that's great, but you put them at an angle, and then I'm running out of hands, and I'm going to try and keep this family friendly, so I won't introduce another appendage, but imagine I keep this hand there. Right, so these systems, they would align like that. So you have my knuckle on this side being the South Pole, my fingertip being the North Pole. What if you introduce another magnet there? What is the correct alignment for that? Is it going to, have this, is that going to repel that? Or, what is the favored situation? And it turns out that there is no configuration of this system that is energetically favorable, and this leads to some really weird physics, and this is called geometric frustration. And I've already hinted to that before. We see this not just in magnetism, we see this in hydrogen bonding in water as well, or the physics of water, which makes Flat Earth particularly funny because they're talking about the physics of water, and my response is, mate, you haven't got a fucking clue about the physics of water. It's so complicated. But these are all of these things that we are investigating. The actual specifics of what steps I'm taking in these investigations, I cannot reveal, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the general thing.
That's fucking awesome, man. All right, so
Yeah.
let me get to a couple of super chats. Translator Cranium, or I'm sorry, Carmium. Carminum, translator Carminum, says it's telling that it takes a globe earther with training in physics to build more of flat Earth model than any flat earther ever has. I've always said that. I've always said that. I say I would be one of the hardest flat earthers to debunk because I would make you have to use actual physics to debunk me, harder physics. Like you'd have to prove that the speed of light couldn't be any faster than the speed of light. You know, I mean, that I would put you in that position because I can accept gravity and go ahead and make it look like it's accelerating up at 9.8 meters per second. All you have to do is prove that I can't go faster than the speed of light. Now, that's a little bit harder than saying, well, prove that gravity doesn't exist or prove that gravity does exist. It's real easy to prove that, you know. But yeah, so let's see. We have one more. Let me get to that one, and then we'll go on. Because I want to bring up these two science articles that came up. Chris Kelling says, I've always wondered, the line that is formed between the A and the B in your name, is that illogical or is it just something cool?
No, the line it is part of Dirac notation, and it means the inner product.
The inner
A.
product.
So I have an issue with your name. Whenever I try to search for AB Science, I get a bunch of articles about the science of toning my abs.
That was a really, really fucking stupid mistake I had back in the day because I just noticed that and it's like, yeah, fucking abs, but yeah, fuck it, I don't care. I'm more than happy to associate myself. I mean, I have got a six pack.
As you can
it is a
see,
6-pack of lager, but
I've got a 19 pack, so
it's a
I
6-pack
win.
nonetheless. Ah, fair enough. No, I've actually got 4, and I'm about to finish my third one.
What are you drinking on?
Oh, it's just dirty Heineken, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all right.
Might as well just drink a fucking bowl of old Cheerios that have fermented.
Shut up, team. You're from the
No,
country
better
that
than-
drinks piss water for beer.
Oh, they do have a
Yeah,
lot of
and you
piss
pay
water
a
drinkers
fucking
here.
shit ton for it. Jesus Christ, how expensive
So-
is beer in your country?
So here's what I see happening. There's been an article that came out that said that there was a man-made barrier that I'm trying to find the actual article to say which. I believe it was the Planck telescope might have seen, or maybe it wasn't the Planck for this one. It was something else. It was the Van Allen
Planck.
Planck. Oh, oops. I always say Max Planck, I think, but.
Yeah,
Do I say that
suppose that's
wrong?
right, but it's just
Is
a
it
Planck
Planck?
telescope. It's Max Planck, but the Planck telescope was an initiative developed kind of by a lot of my colleagues, and it's one of my department's big prides.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, not anymore because
so-
of the gravitational waves, but yeah.
So I found the article. This was actually the Van Allen probes, okay? It says spot man-made barrier shrouding Earth. What do you think that flat earthers are going to start saying that is?
Well, they're going to say that's the firmament, but I'm assuming that it is debris from satellites and shit.
No, well, it's actually not debris from satellites. I was reading it a little bit. Certain frequencies of VLF radio waves, they actually, at a certain distance, I believe they have an interaction with cosmic rays that come in, and it can act as a barrier to those cosmic rays coming in. So it's actually just
it wouldn't surprise me.
VLF radio waves that we're sending out from Earth is the barrier keeping the cosmic rays from coming in. And I've already seen one flat earther claim that this is proof of a dome. The other one, which is a little bit more interesting,
Wait.
actually.
I have an issue with that. So,
Okay, go ahead.
If that's proof of the dome, then that means the dome has only existed since we could create the thing that is causing this interaction. So does that mean we've only had a dome in like the last 50 years?
Well, they're not saying that we're actually the ones that are causing the dome. They're just saying that is the dome. So we're going to have to start addressing that. But for those that find somebody that uses this argument, it's just VLF waves that we create here on Earth. and they act as a barrier to cosmic rays. And I will share the proof for it, the actual article, so when they cite it, you guys can say, nope, this is what it
So
says.
£2 from
Well,
so
it-
fucking what? Go on, put me in timeout again. Dare ya? All right then.
No, I'm about to hold on. I'm about to.
That's just mean. But yeah, so this there is an issue with radio astronomy, right? So
There
on
you
the roof
go.
of my department, we had a few telescopes which were designed for radio astronomy, but we can no longer use them because of 4G.
Really? I didn't know
really?
that.
Yeah.
And just
Oh,
so you
that's
know,
neat.
so
And-
fucking what
yeah.
I put Craig in timeout for you, so that it's not just him picking on you. There's actually I have your back. I'll pick on him for you. Man, that's pretty cool. That's interesting
Yeah,
to know that our future technologies that we come across actually interfere with other technologies that we use for scientific discovery.
Yeah, so I mean, these telescopes were designed to operate exactly on that, on that wavelength. Fuck it, I don't know exactly why. Why do we? I'm not an astronomer, right? But yeah, I know a lot of a lot of my colleagues in the astronomy side of our department. They are complaining about Elon Musk and his Starlink.
Yeah.
It's a fucking ball ache. It's interfering with their measurements, and we're talking about really sensitive stuff, right? Because I know that people, were trying to do measurements, and they got this weird signal, and they got it every time at about 12:30 every day, and they thought they had this really weird discovery. And then they figured out it was the microwave in the staff canteen.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw a story about that.
That's brilliant.
I saw that
happened.
story, and they were like thinking
Yeah.
it was some crazy phenomenon that was happening. It turns out it was just somebody eating up a fucking burrito.
And shit like that happens all the time. But yeah, so we've got Starlink, which is just messing things up right now, and this
And
is
that's
one
only
of
a
the big
tiny portion of
rationales
what they
of
want Starlink
exploring.
to be as well.
Yeah, but this is one of the big rationales of exploring the dark side of the moon, because the moon casts a lovely shadow for all of this interference, and we can install telescopes and stuff like that and do some cool shit on there.
Okay, so we have Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand. I traded my 6-pack in for a keg a while ago. Yeah, I'm getting there
Good
one
plan.
day.
Good plan.
And then
Definitely.
Steven Steen with the classic hashtag Stop Censoring Harold. Everybody in the chat, please stop censoring Harold. And we
Hashtag
need
stop censoring Harold.
hashtag it, everybody. Hashtag Stop Censoring Harold.
Oh, he emailed me the other day, and the email said, "I request you to stop slandering me online." I mean, calling you
Who
a
are
fucking
we
idiot isn't slandering
Yeah, that's
because
not-
it's true.
Yeah, it's not slandering. Okay, so the second science observation, and they're also conflating this into a dome, because it was from the Planck telescope, right? I said it right that time, the Planck telescope.
Yeah.
And I guess they came back and they said that there is new evidence to suggest that there's some lensing that out there that would point towards a closed universe. So there may be a different, we now, instead of maybe having a flat, ever expanding universe, it may now be the closed style universe, more of a spherical universe.
I can't comment on that. I know there's, and this is about the actual shape of the universe, and this is a cosmology issue. But I have not close links. Like I drink a lot of coffee, and a lot of the people I drink coffee with, and beer as well, are actually involved in Planck, and there were some of the people that designed the satellite. So I could have a chat and actually see what that means. But I don't know. This is cosmology, but I am going to be pretty fucking sure that whatever the outcome is of that, it's not going to mean that the Earth is flat.
Oh no, it's not. Not gonna mean the Earth is flat.
But they're grasping at
There
straws
is.
here. They're going, oh, there's a crisis in cosmology. Yeah, you're talking about a crisis. We're talking about a bunch of people who are going, oh, maybe my theory is less consistent with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not quite sure. We're talking about really, really obscure kind of stuff that it's got fucking nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
Yeah, yeah. The way I interpreted it would be to say that that when a physicist tries to use like the balloon expanding an expanding balloon analogy for the Big Bang, and they say, there's each point on the dot on the balloon is actually now getting further and further away. It describes more of a universe shaped like that. When let's say an astronomer or physicist uses that analogy, it's not really consistent with what cosmology says, because cosmology suggests that the universe does not cave back around on itself in a closed manner. It's actually just infinite in every direction. Is that correct?
Well, the issue is that the balloon expanding, or it's the raisin cake, or whatever they're using. It's an analogy to explain a very specific point. We're just talking about how time, how time is, or space time is, is changing, and how space is expanding. But it doesn't talk about the actual shape of the universe. Right, it's simple as that. It's talking about how relative distances are changing, and that's it. The shape of the universe is a different question.
Yeah, it's like when flat earthers start saying things like, "Oh well, the Earth isn't a globe because I don't believe in the Big Bang." They're two completely different topics that don't necessarily relate to each other.
No, because if you are going to assert that the Earth is not a globe, you have to justify that with the Earth is not a globe because I don't believe in the second law of thermodynamics. And that's it.
Yeah. Every time a flat earther starts going on about the second law of thermodynamics, I ask them to tell me what the zeroth law of thermodynamics is, and you see their eyes start to cross.
Yeah. Well, you've got the laws of thermodynamics, but, the easiest way to try and understand the second law of thermodynamics is just through the principle of minimum potential energy. And as I said earlier, you cannot dispute that potential energy doesn't increase with height. So you have to recognize that as an extension, the Earth is going to crush itself into a little ball. Doesn't matter if it's gravity. It's just a phenomenological idea that you observe that happening. So by extension, the Earth must be a sphere.
All right, then we have
It's obviously a sphere. Just look behind me.
Yeah, it also rotates. It also rotates at about, I don't know, 5 times per minute.
Yeah, and there's a massive light orbiting around it, and
fucking black hole named Anthony Riley going around it right now.
A moon that goes the wrong way.
So fucking what for £2? FTFE doesn't like me because he's voting for JM Truth. Very, very true. So fucking what? He's such a...
So fucking what? You're dead to me.
He's such an oppressive individual when it comes to your right to choose who you want to vote for. Okay, so
right,
also...
No one gets a fucking right. Everyone's voting Riley or they're getting out.
So I do want to tell people I am going to be making a video explaining something I said in my last video that's been a point of contention for people arguing about it was my First Amendment audit video where I said something was someone's Fourth Amendment rights, and people are like, it's not the Fourth Amendment right. But I'm going to be making a video explaining it with case law to back my explanation. So you may agree or disagree with me that it's the Fourth Amendment, but it all derives from the Fourth Amendment, and we'll be discussing that in a video coming up. I just want to point that out before we get too far into to tonight's conversation. Okay, so let's see. What do you? Trying to think of where we can go with this conversation now. Because you're talking super science technical terms. Let me ask you. You work with a lot of quantum stuff because of the sizes you're dealing with, correct?
Yeah.
Do you fall? And I ask this of everybody that when we start talking about quantum mechanics, do you fall into the Copenhagen interpretation, or do you believe in the many worlds interpretation?
I fall in it's completely irrelevant interpretation because I'm a condensed matter physicist.
Ooh.
And I don't deal with the philosophical side of things. I deal with the phenomenological side of things of quantum mechanics. I don't know what interpretation is correct. They're both interesting ideas, both. They're all interesting ideas. But the thing is, quantum mechanics is really strong, right? We've got this really rigorous mathematical description, which seems to hold.
Mm-hmm.
And until we can develop an experiment which actually can tell us which interpretation is useful or which is correct, I'm not that interested, because it is not a side that I explore that much. I don't think that it is actually something that we'll ever get the answer to. So that renders it philosophy rather than science.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, hey,
they're interesting ideas, and they're fun to talk about when absolutely fucking shit faced down the pub.
oh yeah.
But yeah, unless you are such a unless you're really on the pure theoretical side of things, then
Well, I asked that question because I already reached out to you about doing a video with me. The video
Yes.
covering Quantum Eraser and his Quantum Eraser experiment, where he gets a few things really wrong. And we'll be,
only
A few things.
yeah, an
fuck
hour and 5
Christ.
minutes worth of few things wrong. Oh, look at that,
Quantum Eraser
AB.
is
Go hold on, AB.
Razor is
Let's see what your memory retention skills are like. Okay, sir, we have a new member. What do we do? Let's go.
No,
You shouldn't
it's an
even
upgrade.
trip by now. You shouldn't even trip. You shouldn't even trip
Well-
up by now. Go ahead.
At this point, you would definitely be demonetized by sharing your dinger. But your meat tube is just going to offend many people and many appreciators of fine cuisine. But then your mankini, that shit's just fucking funny.
Hell yeah! Look at that. There you go. Oh, god damn it! I got it wrong. I put him in backwards, guys. My bad. But it's okay because I get a chance to think, because I don't know that I caught this one or not, but we had a Robert Gassman upgraded his membership as well. So let's go ahead and do it the right way for him. Oh god, I almost messed up again. We're going backwards order this time. Just for Robert, just for the gas man. All right. Thank you very much, Robert, for upgrading your membership, sir, and thank you very much, Marco. Oh well, that was that was Marco that just upgraded his membership. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Marco. I appreciate it, sir. Okay, so yeah, we have that video coming out. Me and you are going to be working on that.
Yeah, we're going to be working on that. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. I anticipate us having a very scientific discussion about it, but I intend on with every last bit of fucking energy in my system to call him an idiot as many times as I can, because that piece of shit had the opportunity to debate me on this topic. Now, did you watch the whole thing?
You know what? I watched it whilst I was in a clean room doing some pretty laborious stuff. The issue is that I've got access to ricin and hydrofluoric acid. I was quite tempted to inhale that.
I was about to say, don't ever do anything laborious while watching a Quantum Eraser video or a Nathan Oakley video. If you're working with anything that could be possibly like serious injury or death to you because of inhalation, just don't watch it. Because you could easily convince yourself after watching 10 minutes of that video just to drink it. You know, just be like, okay, let's just end it all. This is where humanity is taking us. End it all. Hydrochloric acid to the kidney.
Yeah, I was I watched some of it. I thought it was fucking hilarious how he seems to think that his misunderstanding of this actually and this little narrative that he brings across, and then he has the gall to say that, oh yeah, Schrodinger's Nobel Prize should be rescinded because I've just debunked it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh yeah, and then I think he said that he's personally told me he debunked Louis de Broglie. When he said that to me, I was like, okay, where's your your Nobel Physics Prize? Yeah, and he shut up. He didn't answer.
It's fucking ridiculous.
But the
irony is, right? He is spreading that knowledge using a computer. And if you want to describe the first principles of how a computer works, you are going to need the Schrodinger equation.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Is simple as that.
Yes, and
I do have to say thank you to Quantum Eraser, because a lot of Riley's arguments come from him. So cheers, Quantum Eraser, for making Riley so stupid for me.
True. It's funny how Riley appeals to so much authority. He seems to consider Quantum Eraser as some authority, and then not a Dr. John Dee as well, which is fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, listening to those two talk, because I like to go over there. The thing about the good thing, there's a good thing and a bad thing about Quantum Eraser's videos. The good thing is he makes positive claims, so they're very easy to address.
Yes.
So when he says, like, there's a lot of flat earthers out there, they make a very vague claim. Oh, you should see this because of perspective. That's not a positive. I mean, that's a positive claim, but that's not a very detailed. That's not something you can just address. Because you can just dismiss it and go, what was your refractive index? I don't know. Okay, well then we're not even going to talk about what you see. So with him though, he makes very, very specific positive claims. Very good for videos to debunk. The bad thing is, it takes a fucking hour to an hour and a half just to get through his damn video.
I know. These arseholes. It's like, okay, they want to do their live thing and everything. That's fine. But can I just please cut the shit down to the highlights?
Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to do in our video. We're not going to address the whole hour and 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
I have it already chopped up. I'm probably going to add a few more parts because originally I was going to put it on Simon Dan's channel for my video that came out today. But I didn't want to do that on his channel because I felt like there's a lot of real science that's going to be talked about when we make that video. We're actually going to be talking about real science that's being applied today. It might be a little bit more dry than a comedy video. You know, I'll try to make it as comical as possible. But
his vernacular is
Professor
not
Philip Bell's
quite
in the chat.
appropriate for.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Philip Bell.
Professor Philip Bell's in the chat, and he asked, "Who is Quantum Eraser? Is this a scientist?"
No.
Shall we tell him or
no, he's really
not.
Why sully Professor Phil Bell? Don't go watch anything. He doesn't know what he's talking. Not you. Quantum Eraser doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not a scientist.
Like
just in the video I gave to AB Science, he literally said that he debunked Heisenberg and the uncertainty principle. No big deal. not at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He made the claim that he understood wave-particle duality and the meaning of a wave function.
oh, let's not forget
he,
AB. Let's not forget AB. He said his 9-year-old daughter understood it better than Richard Feynman does.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes.
let's
He
not forget the fact
understands
that he
what a
says
wave
that.
function actually means.
Yeah, but he also says that the
Yeah.
double slit experiment is evidence for God.
Yeah, that. Did you
Yeah.
get that far into the video, AB? Did you get that far into the
Yeah, I
video
got that far.
when he
I
said
kind of
that?
caught I think I ended up with his quantum eraser stuff. I think I made it very quite a way through that, and he started drawing some conclusions, but yeah, it just fell flat. I mean, he just demonstrated that he doesn't actually understand the experiments,
Anything.
and I mean, and the thing is, it's quantum mechanics is like it is actually not that difficult if you're just taking the shut up and calculate
Yeah.
type approach. If you're trying to find like deeper meaning into it, and then that's where you go into the different interpretations of you know, well, or the many different interpretations, and you try and make sense of them, then it becomes problematic. And what he is doing is he's just saying, well, this is the interpretation and this is why it's incorrect. And actually the arguments he's using is not really anything that shows that that interpretation is incorrect, but he pretends that it is, because it's that, oh, you just say it with enough confidence and then people will believe that shit, right? No, these are really, really difficult questions. What does quantum mechanics actually mean? And we don't know.
No.
Yeah,
We just simply don't know.
the best
But
explanation
not
that was
knowing
given to
doesn't
me
mean
was
we can't calculate with it.
yeah, and that's
Well,
true
precisely.
too. That's true too. But the best way that
It
it was
is
explained to me was quantum mechanics is nothing more than how light interacts with matter. That's really it.
Well, it's not quite. It's a bit deeper than that, but there's a fine line. I mean, I think it was Neil Bohr or Wolfgang Pauli who says, like, you know, if you're not disturbed by quantum mechanics, you haven't understood it. Richard Feynman took that to the next level. If you think you have understood quantum mechanics, you haven't.
Well, you know, something I liked that I saw that really intrigued me when I was learning about the wave nature of light and whatnot was that a lot of these concepts don't even deal with particles, that you can do it with sound waves. You know, you can take Heisenberg's uncertainty principle and you can apply it to sound waves, and that determines, you know, the more sharp or the more, you know, position you put of a note in space, the less the more different numbers of waves you're going to have to use to create that position, meaning you have less certainty about the, you know, what the wavelength is of it, so, or the momentum is of it.
Not quite, because we're talking about really massively different scales here. But
Well, yeah,
there
I'm
is a
saying
good analogy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying the way
and-
to the way to look at it through the uncertainty in a musical note versus the uncertainty in a position of a particle. You can use those same principles of wave mechanics to generate the reason why we have an uncertainty principle.
Well, at the end of the day, right?
Professor Philip Bell.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, go on. Just Professor Philip Bell says that quantum eraser should do a paper debunking the Heisenberg uncertainty principle because he would definitely be famous. No, he wouldn't be famous. He
Yes,
would be
he would
laughed
be.
at.
Oh, well,
By
okay, so so he said he debunked Louis de Broglie's wavelength, the de Broglie wavelength, which is something that chemistry is basically built on. The electron shell is based on Louis de Broglie's wavelength.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're talking about
arrogance
rewriting major
with
fields
it.
of physics based on what this one jackass on the internet says.
Yeah. But yeah, I get your point with you know, your analogy you drew with sound waves to get back to the conversation. And actually, that is the grounds upon which I ended up going into physics, right? I was a musician back in the day, and I got interested with the computer side of things and started designing synthesizers and trying to understand how all of these things work. I just went down rabbit holes and got really interested in physics again. And actually, you draw that analogy. And actually, it's because of pretty much that analogy, I kind of got interested in this stuff. So you're not completely wrong. It's not quite accurate, but yeah, there's definitely a thing going on there. I mean, we're talking about, if we are trying to solve the Heisenberg, not the Heisenberg, sorry, if we're talking solving the Schrödinger equation, one of the first things we do is trying to find the boundary conditions. And we have, in one dimension, we have a particle in a box. And we are talking about a wave that has a very specific behavior. And then we start with, well, the wave, it has to be always zero at the edges of the box. And then we have a standing wave. And that's great. But, that's our starting point in acoustics as well. Right.
So and that's why they say that you couldn't have even with acoustics you couldn't have infinite knowledge of the position of the standing wave. Let's say because you would have to have an infinite distance in each direction that the wave was going so that you could have perfect knowledge of its shape. So what you do by confining the wave, that's where you begin to start giving yourself some kind of certainty in its position. But then you're also losing certainty on its momentum because it's no longer an infinite sine wave. Now it's confined on both ends.
Yeah, but with Fourier theory, we have a very good understanding of how this develops within the macroscopic scales, because that's what we're talking about with sound waves. And if we're talking about actual wave functions, and that's where it comes in.
Again, it's just for analogy purposes, not to say that they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
Hey, team, there's a message from the chat.
Okay.
It says, "How are you not in jail after murdering that guy on the Flat Earth Friday video?"
Well, I've got a good lawyer. I'll just put it like that. All right. We are starting to get to the end of this because I do have to get ready to go. I have that debate tonight at 8:30. Fight the Flat Earth. Will you look and see if it's been posted on their page yet? We're going to be, if not, I'll just tell everybody again, I'll be debating on modern day debates tonight. We're debating Flat Earth. Decided I'd go ahead and get back into the debate scene and have a few more conversations with people. I'm going to try to keep it civil tonight and just try to talk some sense into the individual. Try to talk some sense.
I want to see you go Team Skeptic.
Well, let me get to the super chats. Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand dollars. Is Shelly coming on the channel? So I'll tell you, Shelly has had interactions with a few people, and those people, lots of people have asked for interviews. She hasn't agreed to me to interview, even though several people have said, hey, you should come on here, but she did respond to another creator saying she won't be talking about it publicly until it's settled legally, which is honestly the best route for her to take. Regardless of whether it's good for my channel to have her on and be entertaining for all you guys to see it, we'll still try to get her on even after the entire ordeal is over. But yes, she does know that there's an open invite here. John Rapp for $5 Aussie dollars. Fingers, meat tubes, or I'm sure that meant dingers. Dingers, meat tubes, and mankinis. Trend there. But my thoughts, to quote Heinlein, isn't it amazing how much they look like orchids? I'm not sure what that is, but do you know what he's talking about? AB?
I don't know the context of that, but all I'm thinking about is my finger demonstration with magnets.
Oh.
I think that was a reference to that, yeah. Dingers, fingers, and because of my dinger finger.
Oh, it said, yes, John Rapp for $2 said, yes, Fingers was a gun on AB's high-level demo. Yeah, they were talking about your demonstration. But yeah, so
I can't see the debate posted yet, but I've just put the channel into the chat so everyone knows what channel to go to after this finishes.
okay, and I've already confirmed with them, and so is the other guy. But
I
yeah,
saw it earlier. It came up in my feed earlier, but I can't seem to find it now.
let me. Well, you know what? While we're closing out, real quick, I'll email them to make sure that we are still on.
I mean, I don't imagine that there's any reason why you wouldn't be.
Well, the other guy said the same thing. Are we still on tonight? Oh, he said we are for sure still on tonight. The only reason the thumbnail isn't showing is because we're hosting another debate right this moment. But we'll send you guys the link at 9:29 Eastern. And that's for Zoom. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I can just share through vMix, my camera. So, yeah, we're still debating tonight, 9:30. Just put it on that channel. I guess they have somebody they're hosting right now, and they'll send us the thing. But all right. So AB, man, it was a pleasure having you on.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, we love having on people that know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
We had
'cause me
Mick
and
West
Steve Desert haven't
on.
got a clue.
Yeah,
We just make this shit up as we go along.
Mick West, we had him on. He was a great guest. We had Professor Dave on. That was a freaking amazing guest right there. So I mean,
We had Professor Philip Bell on, who just
Oh, yeah,
left a
Professor
message in the
Phyllis-
chat saying he just left a message in the chat saying that they're going to try another soft landing on the moon in November next year for Chandrayaan 2.
yeah,
So that'd be fucking awesome.
yeah. He
'Cause
came
Professor
on.
Philip Bell is involved in that.
Let's see who else. Oh, Greater Sapiens come on. I mean, we've had some really, really, really
We
amazing
had
guests.
Mortimer.
Mortimer's
Well, I am
come
in
on.
very
God,
good
I
company.
keep forgetting that. That's like my hero, and I keep forgetting we had him on. We need to get him back on, man.
Yeah, I'm in very good company, and I'm quite honoured.
Yeah, well, we'll have to
Well,
bring you
you're
back
one
on.
of the smartest people. I think you are one of the smartest people in this community. I only wish I
a
was half
fucking
as smart
idiot.
as you are.
Ding.
Well, that's saying something about me then. But no, you're actually working in the fields that we talk about with flat earthers. You know, you actually have a base in physics, and it's good to have someone of your caliber in the community.
Well, I try, but yeah, I never kind of joined this community to kind of debunk flat Earth. I just, you know what? I didn't
just
even
happened.
think that there was a community around flat Earth. I just made some videos
I know,
and I
right?
uploaded them, and then I saw some shit happening. I was like, oh my god, this is actually a thing. But yeah, yeah, I was a bit astounded by that.
Let's see, we have $2 from John Rapp. Says, team, what naughty parts look like an orchid? Now I understand what
shit.
you were saying.
I just realized orchid is Latin. It's I think it's the Latin. It's proper Latin, or it's the Latin slang for genitalia.
Oh,
Yes, that's what he means.
Yes.
Apparently, I'm a bit behind on the jokes, and that happens regularly, you know. But yeah, I guess that's where we're gonna wrap it up tonight. AB, it was a pleasure, man. I'll be in touch with you about getting you the source for that video, and then
Yes.
that way you can look at it. I'll separate it out a little bit so that way you have little points in the middle where you know there's gonna be a break. And then I'll probably chunk it. So I'll say, here, let's break it up into these 4 chunks, and we'll each take a part. And then, we'll work on it together, man. It was fucking great having you on.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
pleasure,
really enjoyed it.
and yeah, we'll work on our video and we'll have a bit of a laugh with that.
All right. Fight the Flat Earth. Do you have anything to say?
I've got a new video coming out in the next couple of days, which will have me singing and playing guitar on at the end. So
Ooh.
you probably just want to skip the last 3 or 4 minutes, actually. But no, thanks to
I'm intrigued.
Recovering Alabanium for helping me rewrite the lyrics to A Life of Riley by the Lightning Seeds.
Oh, that's cool. I want to see that. AB, do you
Yeah.
want to plug your channel? Tell anybody anything else before you get out of here, man?
Yeah, I'll plug my channel. I'll just quickly stick a link in the description. I mean, I may be science. I talk shit. I talk about science and I explore different funny things about flat Earth and in future other woo shit. So yeah, I'll stick a link in the description. Let me just grab it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then come and join. Oh, no, it's blocked links because I'm not a mod.
Oh, wait, hold on. Just type something in the chat.
You're
I'll
not
fix
a
that
mod?
right now. Yeah, I secretly don't
Okay.
like him.
Recovering Alabamian says, that's what you get for telling me not to quit my day job. I write parody lyrics.
Ouch. And then Professor Phil Bell. Oh, look, there you go. There, you're a moderator. I need Professor Bell to be a moderator too, because he has a
Yeah, boy.
good handle on things to share links and stuff.
I've been spanned.
All right, yeah, share your link and oh, and hey, UTB Doug 11 hours ago gave me 10 secs for the sex dance. Wow. I saw that on my donation. Thank you very much. You'll get the sex dance as a fucking outro tonight, guys. That's what's about to happen. Let me go get the mankini on.
Bring that
Just
sex
kidding.
dance.
I'm just kidding. It's too cold to put the mankini on. All right, let's see. Let me get to my camera. So I'm not even dressed up for this, guys. Hold on.
Oh, come on. Quickly change into
I got
the
it.
mankini and give us some of that. Rawr. Come on, baby.
AB,
You
you
know
really
you
want
want
it.
it.
You want to see this, don't you? You want to see the sex dance in the mankini, don't you?
Oh, baby.
Do I have
cannot
time?
Wait to put, I cannot wait to put
Damn.
dollar bills
I do
in
have
down
time.
your slip them down your
You know what?
panties.
I'm not gonna take
you
my
gonna-
pants off, but I'll go get in the fucking mankini, do this sex dance real quick, just
Oh,
because I
God.
love the chat.
Okay.
Just because
What
I
have you
love the
done,
chat.
guys? What
I
have you
love the
fucking
chat,
done?
and AB, you're a fucking beast, bro. And thank you so much for coming on to the channel. The least I could do is impress you with a mankini sex dance. So give me about 2 minutes. You guys hold the floor for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Come on, baby. We all want to see that.
I mean, it is terrifying, and I imagine those children are scarred for life. Well, teams away, I'll read this out. Aussie Globehead for 50 Australian dollars.
Shit.
Aussie. Team NASA still sending secrets from my hospital bed 100000101. That's incredibly rude from a machine. Thank you, Aussie
humans
Globehead. I'm
are
sure Team
dead.
Skeptic appreciates it. Yes. We hope that you recover in your, well, you say hospital bed, but I imagine it's some kind of desk with like transistors and stuff on. Also, guys, I'm debating tomorrow on my channel. I'm giving Rad Vlad a second chance because he actually posted an apology video for his behavior, and he's coming on tomorrow to debate on my channel with a proper format and everything. So yeah, remember, this is the guy that said, well, that laser's broken. Fucking idiot. Well, AB Science, it's been actually awesome to have you on, because like I said, it's really nice to be in the presence of someone who knows what they're talking about. I wing my
You
way through
assume
all
I
this
know
shit,
what I'm talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, in the office, we refer to things as like, well, I did a thing and stuff happened, and I'm pretty much sure that the stuff we observed is because of the things.
Yeah,
Physicists
things happened
are
and that made
idiots.
stuff happen.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yes.
Yeah, recurring Alabama, that's right. There's
pineapple
something wrong with that laser. Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh,
Did you say
the
pineapple
Surf
on
just
pizza?
posted. Yeah, Surf just posted something in the chat about pineapple and pizza. This is a link back to
What do you
the
think?
Shills.
What do you
which
think
is
of pineapple
something
on
out.
pizza then?
You see, I'm an anomaly. The same with Marmite, where everyone goes, "Oh yeah, either love it or hate it." I'm like, it's all right. Pineapple and pizza, it's all right. I couldn't give a shit. It's not
It's
my
just
first
wrong.
choice, but I'm quite happy. No,
I ordered a.
it's not wrong.
I ordered the
It's
pizza
just
the other
that
day,
I
and
wouldn't
they
choose it.
delivered me the wrong one with pineapple on, and I was like, "Well, I can't fucking eat that," and they'd already closed.
Well, no. If that
Ruined.
were to happen, it's like I wouldn't actively choose pineapple pizza, but if it's there, I won't have any issues with eating it. It's all right. It's just
Has everybody left
me.
yet? Do we still have an audience? Please tell me that
No,
everybody
they are
left.
waiting.
They
are
want to see
absolutely
you. They
waiting.
want to
They
see you.
cannot wait. They want to see this.
They are not. They do not want to see this. Chat, please put 1 in the chat if you don't want to see this. Put 2 in the chat if you absolutely don't want to see this. Any other number won't count. I won't be looking for any numbers but 1s and 2s. So 1 in the chat if
This
you
shit's
don't want
happened.
to see it.
No,
2 if you
seriously.
really don't want to see it.
Changed. You've changed to make this happen. So it's going to happen.
Oh. Yeah, I'm hold on, let me let me get proper for this real quick. I need
Get
to find
proper.
my...
You're in a mankini. What's proper about that?
You're fucking ain't lying about that, but I need to get...
Oh, wait, hold on. Guitar accompaniment. I haven't got it plugged in or in my audio system, so I hope you wait. Yeah, all right, okay. So, and I haven't tuned it, but... You've actually... Okay, can you play a little bit of funky shit on that acoustic?
Wow, I look totally fucking stupid, guys. I just want y'all to know that. Let me see what I look like on screen. Oh, we're gonna do this in Dan's house since that... Let me get myself properly. I wish I could show you without tipping off the audience. But, yes, so we're about to do this. Oh, I think we have another super chat. Let me...
Come on, baby.
Oh, ready.
Come on.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
shit.
Ozzy. No, I
Yeah.
got to read this one out, man. My dude is not going through the best of times right now as far as health goes. Let me put myself on camera. First off, Team NASA still sending secrets from a hospital bed. 100001001. Thank you, sir, so very much. You've been in my thoughts for the past couple of days, man, since you've told me that you were in a hospital. I truly, truly hope everything goes well for you. This sex dance
me
is
too.
for you and for... We're going to do the sex dance in the mankini for UTB Doug, and we're going to do it... I'm so cold in this thing. Holy shit. You can hear me shivering in my voice. This sex dance is going to be done for UTB Doug, and it's going to be done for all the Aussies out there, specifically for Aussie Globehead and John Rapp. Here you go. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this proper.
Full screeners, baby.
Oh, it's going to be full screen. So, but I got to do it
I'm
right,
gonna
though.
give them
I'm
a
scared.
full commentary and make
I got-
it extra creamy.
I have to. We're
I
gonna
need an
bring you
adult.
on more. We're gonna bring.
Please
you
get
on
me an
more.
adult. I don't feel safe anymore.
Hold on, I gotta do this right if I'm gonna do this for the Aussies, right? Hold on, I'm getting everything set up.
Yes, Rex. Upcoming meme video. You're right.
Oh, God, yeah.
Show me what you
I can
got.
guarantee you that. Let me see, where am I looking for?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Wait, I've
Alright.
got a really dirty tune I could play here, actually.
Oh yeah, throw the dirty tunes on. I could use something to.
Yeah, hold on. Just give me a moment. Let me just find the dirty tune, and I can do this.
All right, and as soon as AB Science has a dirty tune here, I'll even put him on screen with me. So.
No, don't put me on screen with that shit, because that's not right. Shit. Where am I? No, that's Curie Mac being remixed. Fuck. Yeah, baby.
You guys ready for
All
the
right,
sex
are you
dance?
ready to dance, bitch?
All right.
We're
All
terrified.
right, let's start this.
Go ahead and get it playing. I'm gonna switch over when it starts playing. I'm gonna start sex dancing.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Yeah. Can you turn it up a bit? Oh, there it is. Turn it
Oh
just
yeah,
a bit.
perfect.
So I'll sex dance to that, but I'm gonna need to be able to hear it a little bit better.
All right, okay.
Get your dollars
I
out,
can't turn
everybody.
I can't turn it up much because it's already limited to the max.
All right. Well, my hair wasn't done, but here we go, y'all.
Oh my god, my eyes.
Oh Jesus!
And the mankini's see-through is even better.
Oh, it is, isn't it? This one's for you. Oh, wait, hold on. It didn't do the right one. There we go.
Demonetized.
This is for the Aussies. We do the sex dance upside down. Oh, look. Simon Dance Room.
Someone needs to tell Simon Dan what's going on in this house.
Hold on. I'm in the chair. You can see Simon's Dance Room. Woo! And that was for you guys. I think that's our show for tonight. Thank y'all for coming out. We all love you guys. Let's make sure nobody super chatted anything stupid.
Thanks, guys. Well, better charge for $2 New Zealand. This feels so wrong.
But I love doing it. It's
Yes,
fucking
it does.
fun. You guys have a great night. I'm Team Skeptic. I know this is gonna fail. I'm not even gonna try fucking tonight. Already failed so hard with that. So
He's Team Skeptic, and he's out. King Kill 33 for £2.13. Why my PP hard? It really shouldn't
man.
be. It really
because-
shouldn't be. And there was one more. UTB Doug for £2. Simon Dan's house is well and truly sullied.
Yes, but thank you guys, everybody, for coming out, and y'all have a great night tonight. Come find me on the Modern Day Debate channel. I'm about to go change before I fucking get over there. I'm fucking freezing cold.
No, you have to do it in your mankini.
Yeah,
You want me to debate
do
the
it,
entire
baby.
night in my
Do it.
mankini? No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
baby. Come on, you know you want to.